Welcome to Subramani. Uh, as one grows older, there is always a tendency to give advice, right? So to say, look, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should not be doing. Yeah, very tempting to give a lot of unsolicited advice. I have always been fighting with myself whether one should give advice or one should not give advice. Once, when somebody is starting a business, should you tell them how to start up? Should you tell them, look, these are my contacts, you could find them useful? Do they want it? Do they not want it? Unsolicited advice is always very dangerous, and sometimes you feel it's ridiculous to give it. Sometimes you feel it's ridiculous not to be giving it, because these are your kids. These are your neighbors' kids, your nephews, nieces, etc., whom you think they should learn from your mistakes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But I've always found that when you're, suppose you're joining up a new job, obviously for you it is uncharted waters. It's your first job, you've never held a job, you don't know what is corporate life, you finish your education somewhere and you've come for your first job. Obviously you're not very comfortable. Yes, your HR took you around and things like that, but it is necessary at this stage to seek somebody's help, and please do it. Don't worry too much. There are enough people who are willing to help and enough people who think, well, that is the job of HR. So you decide how you want. So same thing for your investment portfolio. When you are a young investor, it is pretty unnerving to see your portfolio in the red, because you thought you were very smart and your portfolio was up by 20%. Now you realize that the market is down 20% and your portfolio is down 25% or 26%, right? This is a good time to be talking to some of a old investor, somebody who's been there for a long time doing that, and so it could have a calming effect on you. These are the roles which a good advisor can play, or somebody whom you trust as a good investor. If your father has been a banker, asking him equity advice may not make a lot of sense. Sorry, because a lot of bankers are biased, saying no, bank deposits are the best, you should not keep money in the share market. So find a good mentor who could be very useful for your investing journey. Find a useful mentor who could be useful for your business or your service, right? So finding a good mentor is something which is very useful. So find yourself a good mentor is one piece of advice that I would like to give you. I also think that as you get older and you are entering the Vanaprastha ashram, remember the most important thing about Vanaprastha ashram is to teach younger people very many aspects of life if they want to learn. So when you are a part of a running group or a cycling group or any of those places, you find people across very many ages. You find people 10 years older than you, you find people who are 20 years older than you find people who are 20 years younger than you find all kinds of people. And then you realize that there is a lot of learning that can happen from younger people. For me, all my technology learning has happened with the younger people. All the learning in what to do in a gym and what is correct process, procedure, form has been learned from younger people. So there is a lot to learn from younger people, but there's a lot to teach also, right? On career choices, on job choices, on education choices. Whenever you need help, asking somebody older, like the Sound of Music song which says you need someone older and wiser telling you what to do, right? So sometimes those things are useful. So sometimes you feel like giving advice to a co-runner who is 10 years younger, 15 years younger, or somebody who is nearing retirement age and does not know how to plan their finances. Again, unsolicited advice, because they come and talk to you about the car replacement, something which leads one to lead to the other. Then they know what you are doing, so then they ask for advice. So where to stop, whether to answer only one question or to say, no, I will only give a holistic picture. Tell me what you do, tell me what your wife does, have you got your NSGL statement, can you tell me what is the total number, blah blah blah. So you have to control yourself. One more thing that I have seen, especially with immediate friends, relatives, neighbors, is when you are old and you need help, it may not be your children who are there to help you for whatever reasons. Children may be alive, children may be dead, children may be abroad. It is somebody else who comes and looks after you. It is your servant, it is your neighbor, it's your nephew, it's your cousin, right? It could be anybody. So spotting that person is very useful. May not be your own kids. So even if it's your own kids, putting in enough hints saying this is where I plan to live, this is what you plan to do, and things like that is also very useful. So again, the question is, what happens to people who are come just after you, giving them advice, those who are with you slightly ahead or slightly behind, the same age people who ask for advice, and third, preparing a set of people who you will need when you get older. All that is your job of giving advice. Thank you.